Okay, so I have something pretty special to show you guys. These are the upcoming 2020 iPhones. The iPhone 12, the iPhone 12 Pro, and the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So wait a second, Daniel. Did Tim Cook send these to you? Did you actually have the new iPhone 12s 2 months before the actual unveil? Well, yes and no. So these are essentially non-functional units, non-functional models that are actually made for case manufacturers so that they can actually start manufacturing their cases. Massive thanks to Sonny Dixon for arranging these units, by the way. And even though they are non-functional units, they do have the exact same dimensions of the upcoming iPhones, which means that we can actually stack these up against other smartphones and see how they compare in size and everything else. Well, actually, not really just the size. But anyways, without any further ado, here's an early look at the iPhone 12 lineup. And I'll also talk about the specs, the camera features, and the price, and pretty much everything you need to know about these 3 models. There's actually 4. One of them which I don't have. Yeah, these 4 models of the iPhone 12. So grab those snacks and those drinks and everything else that you need. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. You want to get these really cool badges next to your name in the comment section? Well, if you do, then simply become a member by clicking on the join button down below. You not only support the channel, but you also get access to those really cool badges next to your name, which will always be displayed in the comments, by the way, and they will actually evolve the longer you've been a member for. So thank you. Okay, so the first iPhone that we have right here would be the smallest of the bunch and also the most affordable one, and that is the iPhone 12. This iPhone is actually smaller than the current iPhone 11 Pro or the iPhone XS or the iPhone X, which are at the moment the smallest notched iPhones that we have. Not only that, but the iPhone 12 is actually even smaller than the iPhone SE 2020, the iPhone 8, the iPhone 7, the iPhone 6s, or the iPhone 6, being just a tiny bit taller and wider than the iPhone 5. So if you've always wanted a flagship iPhone that was small and easy to use with one hand, that option is now finally back in 2020. Now, something really interesting about this iPhone is that it actually comes with a 5.4-inch display, meaning that while yes, the size of this phone is actually smaller than an iPhone 6, the actual display is noticeably bigger. Also, this is an OLED display, just like on the iPhone X and newer. So no more LCD panels on any of the 2020 iPhones. Yeah, goodbye LCD, you will not be missed. Then another big change to the iPhone 12 is that it now has a squared off frame, very similar to the iPhone 5 and the iPhone 4, which, fun fact, were actually my favorite iPhone designs ever released. And while yes, having a squared off frame isn't as comfortable in the hand as a wedge shaped frame is, they do have way more grip, so they won't be as slippery as the iPhone 11s, the 10, and pretty much all of them since the iPhone 5. And, as a bonus, you can even prop the phones up, which might not sound like a big deal for you guys, but for us, that's actually pretty huge. So it means that we don't have to prop the phones on a glass or something when we're filming. How cool is that? Now, taking a look at the ports and the buttons on the bottom, we have the lightning port, as well as the speaker, and the microphone grill. On the right, we have a massive power button, nothing really on the top, and finally, on the left, we have the mute switch and the volume up and down buttons. Finally, when it comes to the back, we have a dual camera module as opposed to the triple module that we'll see on the Pro models. Now, this is pretty much the same arrangement as we got with the regular iPhone 11 back in 2019. So that means that we have the main module as well as an ultra-wide angle module. The cameras on the iPhone 11s were already pretty much the best ones in the industry overall, with 4K video support on all the lenses. And these ones are set to be getting even better with support for possibly even 4K video at 240 frames per second, which is just nuts. We're also getting an Apple A14 processor, which would be manufactured on a brand new 5nm process. So yeah, overall, the iPhone 12 is a pretty big upgrade in every single way. And really the biggest upgrade that we had since the iPhone X in 2017. Okay, now there is one thing that isn't fully known about these iPhones as of yet, and that is the notch. So since these models were made for case manufacturers, the notch would not be 100% accurate because, they don't really need to know the notch. They only care about the back and the frame. and the buttons, and that's it. However, since we've had so many reports that the notch would indeed be getting smaller, I do expect this notch to look about the same as we've modeled it in our concepts. This won't really be that much of a change on the larger models of the iPhones, but it definitely will be on this 5.4-inch iPhone 12, where the notch is already taking a considerable amount of space on this tiny display. Price-wise, this iPhone is set to start at $650, $50 less than the current iPhone 11 starts at. Pretty awesome, considering that we're also getting an OLED display, 5G, and better performance as well. Okay, the second 2020 iPhone would be the iPhone 12 Max. So this one is basically the successor to the iPhone 11, as it even has the exact same 6.1-inch display, only this time it is an OLED display. And I really do like the size a lot. Especially now that we have these flat sides, I can actually grip it perfectly, and it is noticeably larger than the 5.4-inch iPhone 12. On the back, we have the exact same dual camera module setup as on the iPhone 12. So that's all the same, and the front would have the same notch size as the iPhone 12 will, which again, I do believe that it will be around the same size as we've modeled in our concept, based on all the leaks that we've seen. The iPhone 12 Max is rumored to start at $750, or $50 more than the iPhone 11 did. But we are getting an OLED display, thinner bezels, a new design with a flat frame, as well as 5G support, so that's pretty awesome, I would say. And then we have two Pro iPhones, starting with the iPhone 12 Pro. So this one has a 6.1-inch display, so exactly the same size as the iPhone 12 Max. However, this display is very likely going to be a 120Hz refresh rate panel, making everything far more fluid and twice more responsive than on the non-Pro iPhones. The frame, while still flat, will be made out of stainless steel as opposed to aluminum on the non-Pro models. Now, personally, I actually do prefer the matte black frame on the non-Pro iPhones. There's something about that just makes it look very, very familiar to the iPhone 5 design, and it kind of takes me back to that era, which, like I said before, that was my favorite iPhone design ever, that and the iPhone 4. Also, something to note here is that on the bottom left, we have this thing that kind of looks like a smart connector. Now, some of you might be thinking that, no, Daniel, that's obviously the SIM card tray. But the thing is, the SIM card tray is actually taller and also wider, so it's likely not that. And also, if you take a look at the previous unreleased iPhone models that we've showed you over the years, none of them had the SIM card tray on them. That was just on the final models, mostly because you don't really need access to the SIM card like you do for the button. So that's why these are not modeled on these units for case manufacturers, because, you know, they don't really care about it. We do know that Apple plans on removing the Lightning port entirely with the iPhone 13 next year, and that the charging will be done via a magnetic smart connector or directly through wireless charging. So Apple will have a portless iPhone next year. And, you know, they could be including the smart connector on these iPhones this year, just to get users more accustomed to charging via that magnetic connector instead. Aside from this iPhone will also come with more RAM, 6GB of RAM versus 4GB that we have on the non-Pro iPhones. And the cameras will be getting a pretty big improvement. So not only will we be getting a triple lens camera module, but we would also be getting that LiDAR sensor that the 2020 iPad Pro also got. Now, this LiDAR module is not present on our models right here. Again, mostly because these are for case manufacturers, and as long as the size of the camera unit, so that camera square, is correct, it doesn't really matter what's inside of that. Our concept is more accurate, so yeah, this is closer to how the 2020 iPhones will look like from the back. Now, aside from the new LiDAR module, which will allow you to scan objects and even the environment in 3D for a significantly improved AR experience, the three main cameras will also be getting some major upgrades. The rumors are saying that they'll be getting higher quality optics with possibly a brand new 7-element lens system. And we've also heard rumors of possibly a 64 megapixel sensor, but those are not confirmed as of yet. So all we know for now is that the Pro models will definitely be an upgrade over the current iPhone 11 Pros in terms of the camera quality. We just don't know how much as of yet. The iPhone 12 Pro is set to start from the same $999 price point that the iPhone 11 Pro started at in 2019. And we do get a larger display, better performance, a LiDAR scanner on the back, improved cameras, as well as 5G support and possibly even a 120Hz refresh rate. And finally, the last iPhone would be the iPhone 12 Pro Max. which is the second iPhone out of this iPhone 12 lineup to be getting a change in terms of its size. But unlike the regular iPhone 12, which is now getting smaller, the iPhone 12 Pro Max is actually getting bigger. Well, even bigger than ever before, coming with a massive 6.7-inch display. And I gotta say, while I absolutely love how this iPhone feels in the hand, it is just gigantic. The iPhone 11 Pro Max was always on the big side, but this thing is just humongous. However, it's not actually as big as you would expect it to be, at least when compared to other Android flagships, for example. So comparing it to the Galaxy Note 10 Plus, which comes with a 6.8-inch display. And the iPhone is almost the same size. The Note is still bigger, of course, but not by a lot. And the same thing applies when we compare it to the Galaxy S20 Ultra. But you see, while the Ultra is much taller, the iPhone 12 Pro Max is noticeably wider, making it feel far chunkier and more tablet-like in the hand than the S20 Ultra does. And the fact that we don't have a notch at all gives us much more screen real estate when compared to the iPhone. Now, even though I do like the look of this iPhone a lot, and the fact that, it still has a massive display, which I always appreciate on smartphones, I still cannot use an iPhone for business use when I'm traveling, as we still do not have side-by-side multitasking support on an iPhone at all. So if I want to use two apps at the same time, which I pretty much do all the time when I'm traveling and I need to look at my calendar and schedule some events based on some emails or some notes, and I need to see both at the same time, I cannot do that on the iPhone, as I can only run one app at the same time, which is very, very frustrating. I keep having to go back and forward. But on a Samsung Galaxy Note, for example, or pretty much any Android phone, you can in fact run two apps or even more apps at the same time, significantly improving the multitasking experience, or, making it possible, to be honest. So I don't know. I think I might just go for the iPhone 12 Pro instead this year, so the 6.1-inch iPhone instead of the big 6.7-inch iPhone, and then of course I will also have my Samsung Galaxy Fold 2 as my main or my secondary phone once that releases. Other than that, the iPhone 12 Pro Max would have the same specs and features that the iPhone 12 Pro will have. So that means 6GB of RAM alongside that triple lens camera module on the back with that LiDAR scanner included. Now, interesting enough, if you take a look at the sides of the iPhone 12 Pro Max, while on the left we do have that smart connector shape like we already had on the iPhone 12 Pro, on the right we have another cutout, which actually does resemble the Apple Pencil connector on the iPad Pro. Also, this connector is much larger than the single connector on the iPhone 12 Pro. So what could this be? Well, my theory is that that connector that's on the right-hand side of the iPhone 12 Pro Max and the one that's on the left-hand side of the iPhone 12 Pro, they will both be used for that new magnetic charger. So they're both smart connectors, essentially. It's just that the one on the iPhone 12 Pro is smaller, maybe because it's a smaller phone. But yeah, it's still a bit weird that they're not the same size. So I'm not fully sure why exactly that is. Maybe different specs, maybe different charging speeds, or maybe just the fact that, the 12 Pro is a smaller phone. But I do expect that, I do honestly think that they're both magnetic chargers or connectors. Now, when it comes to the second tiny connector on the 12 Pro Max, I actually think that that's actually the SIM tray. For some reason, it was modeled onto this iPhone, even though it didn't have to be. And it's about the same size as an actual SIM card tray on the regular iPhones. So that's my theory, but do let me know, what do you guys think? Now, something else that I really want to mention here is that all of these iPhones actually do feel considerably thinner than the iPhone 11 Pros do. So the 11 Pros measured in at 8.1mm thick, and the 12 Pros at least are said to be getting thinner at 7.4mm. So yeah, that's pretty nice, as long as it doesn't affect the battery life, of course. And finally, the iPhone 12 Pro Max is set to start at the same $1,100 price point that the iPhone 11 Pro Max started at. And for this, we're getting a larger display with possibly a 120Hz refresh rate, faster performance, improved cameras. We're also getting that LiDAR scanner on the back. We're also getting 5G, and of course, the brand new design since the iPhone 12 in 2017. So overall, the iPhone 12 line is looking very, very promising, especially considering the prices that Apple will be selling these iPhones at. Like, if you take a look at the iPhone 12 Max, $750 for this thing, which would have the world's most powerful processor in any phone, so same chip on all of these phones, and likely one of the best cameras in any phone, I would say that that's a very, very good deal. Also 120Hz, which It's not fully confirmed as of yet, but it is rumored and likely to be included. In order to achieve these prices, Apple had to remove the charger and the headphones from the box. So you will have to buy these separately now, which really sucks. Now, some people I know are really upset with this. I'm not that upset. I'm personally okay as long as the price gets decreased, which unfortunately for the two iPhone 12 Pros, it's actually not. It's pretty much the same. So let me know in the comments your thoughts about this and everything else that I talked about in this video. Become a member, again, if you want to support the channel and also get access to those really cool badges next to your name in the comment section down below. Subscribe, hit the bell icon if you want to see more videos like this one, more cool tech videos like this one hopefully was. And yeah, this has been pretty much it. So thank you for watching. I'm Daniel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. ZONEofTECH, signing out. Cheers. I don't want to drop these, so cheers.